Back in the kitchen now with Chef Richard Palm, the executive chef at the American Club in Kohler, the pastry chef there. He is in charge of all the different wonderful pastries that you see throughout the year, but you guys go a little crazy around this time of the year,
We
huh?
go, it's the love season, yes indeed.
is.
It's a little crazy.
Lots of chocolate, and earlier we made this amazing chocolate tart that we put in the oven. Let's go check on it.
I just actually did, and it's completely and totally ready. And remember what we talked about with the edges just slightly souffled, and looks like
little
pin
bubbles.
pricks all over. If you looked, if you could see real close, you'd see the little pin pricks. Now what we're going to do is leave that set for about 10 minutes while we do the chocolate mousse recipe.
Okay.
Come back and mold that, and then we'll slice it while it's still a little bit warm. Serve it with a little bit of sweetened whipped cream. Ooh. What could be better? And a little
Nothing in my book. Okay, a recipe, another recipe that is my favorite and just so wonderful for Valentine's Day or this time of year is chocolate mousse, because it's special. It's something that you don't have very often. It's rich and velvety. There's nothing better in my book, you know.
Mousse in French means foam, so this is chocolate foam, but this is the really nice, wonderful trips over your tongue. So we have 4 egg yolks here.
Okay.
We have our sugar, recipe online, and then what we're going to do, as soon as you have sugar on top of egg yolks, you cannot walk away. You have to keep that thing moving. And may I ask you to heat up the marsala
You bet.
in the microwave for about 30 seconds.
So this is a marsala wine.
Yep.
A lot of times you probably heard of chicken marsala, you know, as an Italian dish, but this is going to add a really nice flavor
Yeah,
to
it's going to give it an
mousse.
undertow.
If you didn't want to use marsala, what are some of the things that you could use?
You could use coffee.
Okay. And we want to warm this. Now, it looks like, as far as ingredients goes for chocolate
Very
mousse,
simple.
yeah, there's not a lot going on.
not a lot
Anybody
going
can
on.
do this. It's more about the technique.
It's exactly right. So what we're going to do is we taken the sugar and the egg yolks, and we're going to just kind of like souffle that, French for blow up. And then what we're going to do is put the hot marsala in it, put it over a hot water bath, cook it, and then what we'll do is we'll transfer it to take the heat out of the bowl, put the melted chocolate, we've already got our chocolate melted here, put that in, and then we'll fold the whipped cream in at the end, and we have just a little bit of chocolate heaven.
Okay, so this has been about 30 seconds in the microwave. Do you think that's hot enough?
Yep, very much
Okay, so now what?
In goes.
In goes, this is our egg yolks and our sugar, all of it?
All of it.
Okay. And then over here, we've melted some chocolate, did the double boiler method. And about how much chocolate and what type of chocolate?
8 ounces of chocolate, and what you want to do is make sure that you're getting a standard kind of chocolate, 50-55%. Don't go to the store and get your Lindt 75%. There's a reason why. Too much chocolate mass, cocoa mass. Guess what? The chocolate mousse is going to be chewy.
Okay.
This, you want it to sort of just trip over the tongue.
And we have boiling water that we've now turned down.
We brought the water to a boil, shut
Shut
it
it
off.
Okay.
The reason being is we don't want that water vapor into the chocolate, because
Okay.
it'll cause the chocolate to seize. The compound in the chocolate known as cocoa butter, 50 different fats in cocoa butter, and it seizes. It actually gets so tight that you wouldn't be able to work with it.
All right, so the chocolate is all melty and wonderful, and oh, it smells delicious. What are we looking for over here, Richard?
We're cooking, this is called a Zabayon technique, and we're actually wanting this to triple in volume and then cook, and you should be able to see how it's cooked. It'll actually feel like it's adhering to the bottom just a little bit.
So that takes
It takes a little. This is the bugaboo. This is what takes a little bit of time.
But it's worth it. Now for chocolate mousse, is that something you can make ahead of time?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely should.
Okay.
Reason being is that once you pour the whipped cream into it, and you're going to put it into whatever kind of serving things, you want it to, I know this is a weird name, but it's moussify, but it actually sets.
In the refrigerator.
In the refrigerator. So something that could easily be done the night before. But what you want to do is cover it with saran wrap just to protect it from absorbing some of the odors in your refrigerator.
Sure.
But you see how that's starting?
Oh, it's beautiful.
And see how it's starting to souffle, which means blow up. That's like in France, you souffle a balloon. That's actually blow up a balloon. And see how that's starting. You can see the tines of the whisk in that now. That's actually.
It gets a beautiful yellow color too.
Yeah, exactly. That's your wine custard called a Zabayon, and that's ready to go.
Okay. So I can turn this heat off. Okay.
But now what we're going to do is we're going to transfer this to the glass bowls, partly because we want our guests, our viewers, to see what we're going to do, but also to take the heat
Because that pan's
out of the
hot,
bowl.
obviously.
Well, the
right.
reason being is that we don't want to put the whipped cream into something that's hot because it'll melt the whipped cream.
Sure.
But I'm going to ask you, if you'd be so kind,
Chocolate?
to put all the chocolate in.
I'd be happy to help with that.
I kind of thought you might would. Perfect.
Want to get every little last bit of it out of there.
Yep.
Okay.
And see, that's kind of like a ganache, almost like a ganache. Take a look at that. And now what you want to do is you want to put the whipped cream in there for me. So why don't you grab that blue
Yep.
spatula, and I'm going to fold it in with my blue spatula.
And this is just heavy cream that we whipped up. Any sugar in this at all?
Not at all.
Okay.
The sugar is all in the...
Should I put it all in at once or a little bit at a time?
a little bit at a time.
Okay. There's nothing better than real whipped cream, boy. Whew. And you're folding it. You want to keep it all that air in there and keep it nice and light.
As much as is possible.
So you don't want to use a mixer at all.
No. Okay, go ahead.
This stuff is so rich. It's like a little dab will do you. And it's such a special treat to do. My kids love it.
Make sure you're scraping the sides of that bowl.
Okay.
And now 2 tablespoons of dark rum at the end, just for a little bit more flavor. You want to get us a couple spoons because we have to actually sample this?
You bet. I really have to sample it?
Yeah.
I think I can do
Life
that.
can be tough sometimes.
What are we looking for?
You'll
It's just velvety and
Exactly, and it's at this point that you just pour it into, we have like a little ramekin here.
or you could do champagne glasses or wine
Wine
glasses.
glasses are just perfect with this, but as you can see,
So it pours at this point.
yeah,
And then when it refrigerates, it gets a little more
it gets much more firm.
firm. Okay. Yum.
And make sure that you're cleaning up your presentation because that's more than half the...
And then
And then as it moussifies and it becomes a little solid, a few little fresh raspberries,
what I
a
was
little
thinking,
bit of
whipped cream and- yeah.
on top, what
keep
could
it
be
simple.
better?
No, nothing. And our tart, how's that looking? Is it look like we could start
Yes,
cutting that?
I think we can. If you want to get me a plate.
You bet. Now again, the celebration of chocolate is this weekend. Although you can sample Richard's desserts all the time, anytime at the American Club, you're going to find him there at all
Now
the
take
different
a look,
restaurants.
Amy, even though that's been out of the oven not that long. See? How we can
And
slice
you mentioned it should be a little warm.
Take a look at that.
Oh, it cuts gorgeous. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. We'll decorate it up
And then if I can get one more spoon.
right here. That looks magnificent. Wow. Richard, thank you so much. I
you're very
appreciate
welcome.
it. Again, the celebration of chocolate this weekend kicks off Friday. All sorts of great little classes on Saturday, including one taught by Richard.
Breakfast by chocolate.
Ooh, fun. And then Saturday night is the biggie, where you get to sample bunches of different Cole Original chocolates, desserts, chocolate hors d'oeuvres, wines. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be a lot of fun. As well, the wine dinner. Don't forget about the extravagant wine dinner in the Immigrant Room on Friday night.
All right, good deal. Thanks so much.
Look
Appreciate
forward to
it.
seeing you there. Please.
We'll be back. Stay with us.